Hey guys, welcome back. BDC Care here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of November 10th, 2022. The current character challenge is Regime Hawkgirl. That is a 1 week repeat. The required characters for that are Catwoman, Lex Luthor, and Doomsday, who are bronze, and silver, respectively. So, there's a decent chance that you either already have some of these guys, or you can buy them in the store.
I think they all have gold skins, too, actually. It's interesting. So, but the cheapest are bronze, and silver.
Yeah, good point. And her passive is Shock and Awe, which is when Hawkgirl tags in, she disables all opponent special attacks for 5 seconds. If she gets 200% on special 2, it will become a critical hit. She's got 1,100 attack and 1,000 health. She was last available on the 13th of January, 2022.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, actually, even among the challenge characters that have rotated so much and the fact that we've been missing a bunch. At one point, Regime Hawkgirl was one of those rarities that was out of the rotation. Little did we know that those were the good old days when she was the only one that had been missing for a while, as opposed
Instead
to
of a bunch of people being missing.
Yeah,
for
23
even
characters.
Longer.
Right, for 2 years. So she was first released 2015, and I don't think she was in any challenge pack, but she started becoming available again in, I think, 2021. And she's had a few challenges. Once this challenge cycle started, she was the one that was the last one, I think, in the... I don't want to say full, but the full of what we're seeing as a rotation now, which is the 43 characters. So, all right, so talking about her specifically, so getting away from the game itself, but talking about her specifically, she's not the best card, right? Her base damage is 1,100, base health of 1,000. It's middling stats. She's way behind those more recent stat beasts, and it's not really surprising given that she was out of loop for so long. She was first introduced back in 2015, and she was out of loop for a long time. So it's interesting passive to get automatic crit if you get 200% on special 2. I like that.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that's the payoff that you should get for when you're literally maxing out your special, right? When you play the minigame. It's not that hard to do. But the secret is really starting to tap where the circle will appear before it starts, because if you wait until you see it first...
You're pretty much too late.
Yeah, because it shrinks and disappears pretty fast. I was never a big fan of temporarily disabling specials, since opponents are still generating power, but it's still better than most gears that disable specials, because instead of having a percentage chance on the gears, she just does it.
Yeah, it's more reliable. You can plan around it, which is always helpful.
The biggest problem I feel like with that is that unless you knock them out in those 5 seconds, then as soon as you're done, they are usually ready to drop a special on you, whether it's because it's the power that you disabled, right, that you kept them from doing the special. But yeah, I mean I say that, and what you're going to be seeing is a demonstration of the multiplayer character doing exactly that, but not with his passive. He's doing it with the Enchantress gear. So the biggest value is making sure she's part of your collection. If you really want to make the most of her disabling specials, you need to be prepared to take out your opponent fast, which usually means having enough power when she tags in so that she can drop a special bomb.
Herself, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the 129th week of a repeating pattern that first appeared in May of 2020. We have had 2 complete runs, I guess 3 complete runs now.
This is the last week of the third run.
A 43-week cycle, because we're 43 weeks in sort of our third cycle this week. So next week should be Luchador Bane, and that would be sort of the start of our 4th complete cycle from when the cycle first started appearing, right? The first time we saw the pattern appear, Luchador Bane was sort of the guy at the start of it. Yeah. And like you mentioned earlier, 23 challenge characters are still totally missing.
Right.
This week's multiplayer reward is Reverse Flash. His passive is Cellular Regeneration, which is while active, the Reverse Flash has a chance to immediately regenerate health and cleanse negative effects after taking damage from a special attack. May occur 3 times per match. He's got 1,000 of both attack and health. He was last available on the 7th of April, 2022. So in this case, it's 97 weeks in a row of a consistent pattern, which is 3 complete cycles of 31 rewards, and then 4 weeks of that 4th cycle of rewards.
Right. And so what's interesting... Oh, sorry.
Flashpoint Deathstroke is next week, and unlike sort of the challenge characters, there's nothing missing from this. You get all the multiplayer rewards that they've ever released.
Right. We were having this conversation in real life a few days ago. how the 31 rewards in multiplayer and the 43 rewards or 43 challenge that's running, they're both prime numbers. So they're not going to be getting in sync for a few years.
The only time the cycle starts again would be 31 times 43 weeks, which is like a bunch of years. It's like dozens. It's like at least 14 years or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. So Reverse Flash, interesting. Lowish kind of stats, 1,000 and 1,000, middle to low. He used to be the single most important character when we were motivated to finish Survivor. But I think there's other strategies that have superseded now. If I were motivated to try to finish Survivor again and get some footage of it, I would. It's such a time sink.
Mm-hmm.
But he was pretty good because of, well, I guess I'll talk about it in a minute. He's fast like all the Flashes. So his basic attacks are great. And even better is the mechanic of Flashes where when you do a swipe combo, you swipe once, he'll hit twice. So that's one swipe is the first two parts of his combo, and the second swipe gives you his third hit. So if you don't swipe again to get that third hit, so you just swipe once, hit, and because his refractory period, the time that it takes him after he's paused to start a next attack, you can just do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do your third hit. The third hit would shove the opponent away, so he couldn't, but you just pause so it doesn't engage the third hit, and you start again before your opponent can recover, and you can just do an infinite combo. So it's not as easy as it used to be to do, because I think they adjusted how much of a speed boost he gets when he does a special one. And so it's hard, but I think if you're watching the footage and I've got it right, there's this example of this where we're doing it against one of our opponents, and there's something about the loadout that's going to matter too. So I guess before I forget, I should mention these other things. When you play against him, you'll notice that if he's already lost health before he tags in, and he tags in because a teammate got knocked out with a special, his cellular regeneration can trigger, and if it does, he gets full health.
Yeah.
So he'll get right back to maximum health instead of what he should have come in with. And in Survivor, or even in regular offline play, if there's a fight where specials are locked, or any of the specials are locked, when cellular regeneration triggers, it unlocks them.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of a secret.
Yeah. And the fun video that we have that we're going to link in the description is where we make him disappear using Elseworld Flash's passive.
Mm-hmm. So
the examples you might be seeing in the background that are playing of this week's video while we're talking about Reverse Flash is that we've got him set up with the infinite basic attack combo as a couple of examples, and the gears are there to increase the chance of unblockable attacks.
Yeah.
And this is the interesting math, because one swipe of his combo gives you two, even if gives you two hits, even if it's blocked. Unlike the normal mechanic where once it's blocked, you stop attacking, you still get both hits.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
a whole other chance of breaking block.
Right, a second chance. So instead of so normally what you have is 30% unblockable chance with Soul Taker, 25% chance with the hyper speed plated suit, which we've got on him.
Yeah.
So if you just add the numbers, and I'm not 100% sure you do. So if you add the numbers, and that's 55% chance of unblockable. So there's a 45% chance, if the opponent blocks, there's a 45% chance that the block will hold on the first hit, and a 45% chance that the block will hold on the second hit.
Yeah. And so you only get like a 20.25% chance, which means that you get an almost 80% chance to break the block.
Right, because if you look at probabilities, the chance of breaking the block, of getting at least one hit, is the chance of not hitting, like both blocks holding, subtracted from 100%.
That's your probability lesson, in case anybody in a very confusing way.
Right, so, but, I mean, if you put it another way, a combined 55% unblockable chance from the gears becomes almost 80% chance because one swipe gives you two hits. We get two rolls of the die.
Yeah.
And so that means if you script the infinite combo and opponent blocks, you'll break the block 80% of the time and still keep on doing your infinite attack.
Yeah, so it's a lot more forgiving. Yep. They made it less forgiving with an update, but with the right gear, you can kind of give yourself a lot of that forgiveness back.
Right. So, and it's possible that it's not additive unblockable chance, and if it isn't, and you do it as the same way we did the rolls for, each one is independent.
Yeah, then you get a 77.44% chance of breaking the block instead of a 79.75.
Yeah.
So it's still close. It's still really close.
I think the difference is small enough that even tracking a very large sample size, it would be hard to distinguish between those two percentages and say definitively, it's one or the other. So
there we go.
Yeah. Oh, and we also have a really old video, maybe 4 years, that we'll also link, where we demonstrate the infinite basic attack combo more effectively, and we're doing it using Regime Flash, because Regime Flash gives you the speed boost, so we don't need to do a special to get them started. Yeah.
In the store, we have the Gotham... So it's either the Gotham Gold Pack, which is what it's actually called, or the Gotham City pack, because that's what it actually says on the pack. It's $24.99 Canadian. All these prices are going to be in Canadian because that's where we're from, so that's where we can see the prices.
But we talked about it a lot last week.
Yeah.
This is the second week now. They've gotten into this funny schedule where they leave packs in for a second week.
Yeah.
And I'm not... It's just interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it means anything, because for the longest time, pack, if it was going to come, it would come for a week. And that's the other thing, right? We're going to talk about all the other packs that have been hanging around for a long time, but it's... I wonder... I mean... Because there have been so few updates, sometimes I feel like I'm just trying to make up meaning or infer some meaning into something that makes no difference at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we talked about it. It's a terrible pack. It's like one of the worst packs you could buy.
Yeah.
We also have the Character Bundle Flash TV. Has that been around?
It has been around a bunch of times. Oh, no, this is
the first time.
First week. Yeah.
The store's the part where I don't never pay a lot of attention to it. So that's
But it's been around a bunch this year. Like, this is the third time this year already.
Yeah, and that's for $24.99 Canadian as well. That comes with Reverse Flash, Metahuman the Flash, and two of the same gear, Hyperspeed Plated Suit. A lot of times with these, you get their special gear.
Yeah,
and sometimes, when people have multiple gear like Batman, right? You can get like a sort of mix them up of multiple.
Well, but see, this is it. This is one of the few packs where you're getting two skins of the same guy. I think there's like the Hal Jordan one that's like this.
Yeah.
And this Flash one. But in other packs, you're just getting different characters, so you can get different signature gears. Yeah. Which is better. I mean, if you needed anything, Metahuman Flash and Reverse Flash are the multiplayer challenges. Yeah. So there is some value more than just getting like a...
Yeah, you get more copies faster, because those ones are really how we're playing right now. There's no way of getting them any faster than just getting a higher sort of percent, right? And that's not like super sustainable. So there's some value here. If you want the next elite level now instead of having to wait, more than half a year, I can see some value there. Yeah. Anyways, there's a bunch of packs that we've had for like conservatively forever now. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. It hasn't been quite that long, but it feels like forever. So we have the Survivor pack, which has been around for 44 weeks. Or I guess there's different versions of it, but this current version has been around for 44 weeks, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We have the Character Bundle Batman Universe for 49 weeks. The Most Wanted pack is on its 56th week. The 300 Nth Metal Celebration packs have been around for 41 weeks each, except for Aquaman. He's been around for 43 because he spent those 2 weeks celebrating all by himself. In our Survivor, we have the Suicide Squad gear set until the 16th of November 2022.
So when you say that, it made me think. I was thinking of like the person who drinks on his own. So he's partying on his own, and I feel a little sad for Aquaman.
Yeah, it's not the best party. It's not the celebration that you want to be at if it's a party of one.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. So Phantom Zone finished. Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's gold breakthrough was for Bane, Killer Frost, and Ares. So this coming weekend is in all likelihood going to be Sinestro, Green Arrow, and Scorpion. Link in the description to a Reddit thread from Devlin, one of the mods, that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle.
Mm-hmm. So this is not the first week of the month, so we're not going to do our complete glitch run through. If you are looking for that complete run through of all the glitches where we talk about them in a little bit more detail, you can check that out on the recap that we released on the 3rd of November last week.
Yeah.
And if you want the complete list of the instructions to do all the glitches, you can check out the playlist that'll be linked in the eye in the top right corner here, or you can check out the playlist by navigating to our channel and going to our playlist tab and finding that.
Yeah. The only thing that's probably worth mentioning is the challenge reset has been confirmed to be working on this week's challenge regime, Hawkgirl.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. To finish up, we'd like to give a huge thank you to all the lovely folks who support us on Patreon. That is BomboBen, Consul Peasant, and Edwoon at the top tier Last Word, Sinemac and Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier, Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, Eddydoo, and Hoshi127 on the credited level, and Chris Wolff, Scarlet, Dani, Awesomegamer241, Pavu RS, Gavin, Mallott, and Isfar E at the gratitude level. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks so much to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.